I've come up with for myself this kind of working definition of what I think worship is all about. So this is the definition according to Scott Lokers. It's anything that we do or say that brings glory and honor to God. Anything we do or say that brings glory and honor to God. So what is worship? What is worship? That's our question this morning, isn't it? Hopefully you're getting a clearer picture. Let me show you. We're just going to do a quick little thing here. Let me show you some pictures. We're just going to do a little survey. How about this? Is this worship?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like those people are worshiping. How about this?
Yep.
Is this worship? Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Seeing our kids engaging with God and praying. How about this? Is this worship?
Yes.
Yeah? How about this?
Yep.
How about this?
Yep.
Come on. Stop messing with me. It doesn't want to go to the next one. It's the new toy I have. It's breaking. Hey, here we go. How about this? Is that worship?
No.
Interesting, huh? Interesting. Is it worship? Now I'm making you think, huh? What about this?
That Dave's pattern.
I don't know. Interesting, huh? What about this? Is that worship? Think about it. What about this? Is that worship? Let me ask you this question. And I want you to be honest. Grab a pen or a pencil or something if you have. This is just, I'm going to show this to anyone. But I want to ask you this question. How often do you worship during the week? How often do you worship during the week? And I want you to give it a percentage. Just the ballpark. Come up with a percentage. Just jot it down on a scrap of paper. You're not going to show it to anybody. How often do you worship? Or if you don't have a pencil, just keep it in your head. How often do you worship? That's my question. Okay, everyone got it? How many of you, being totally honest, said anything less than 100%? I worship less than 100% of the time. Good, being honest. Here's what I want to challenge you with. And I want you to grab this point this morning. I think the real answer is that we all worship 100% of the time. Hear me out. I think the real question is not how often do we worship, but how often is that worship directed toward God? How often is that? How often is that? See, every moment of every day, we're choosing to honor something, aren't we? We're choosing to honor something, whether it be ourselves, whether it be the possessions and the money that we pursue, whether it be some celebrity that we're enamored with, or whether it be God. We choose to honor something. See, I think if you read the scriptures, this is just my opinion too, you can disagree with me if you want, but I think we were created as a people who need to worship. And I think God created us that way. We were created with a need to be drawn to something. It's like this magnet that needs to get stuck. Did you ever looked at a magnet? A magnet is totally useless, isn't it, if it isn't being drawn to metal. It has no purpose. We too need purpose. We need to be drawn to something. We need inspiration. We need motivation. We need purpose. What's the biggest question that anyone ever asks in life? Why am I here? The biggest question that anyone ever asks, what is the meaning of life? Why in the world am I here on this earth? That's among Christians and non-Christians alike. Why am I here? Because we need purpose. We were created, needed to be drawn to something. We need something to inspire us. We need something to live for. We need something to revere. We need something to esteem. We need something to intensely love and admire, something to give our lives meaning. Some of us find that in work. Some of us find it in family. Some of us find it in friendships. Some of us find it in wealth and possessions. Some of us find it in our heroes. Some of us find it in sports teams. Some of us find it, honestly, in ourselves. That we become the center of our own world. It's all about me. It's all about lifting me and esteeming me and me being everything that I can be. Now, don't hear me wrong. I'm not saying we shouldn't work or make money or have friends or enjoy entertainment. But when those things become the center of our lives, when we're more inspired by, more motivated by, and more devoted to those things than we are to God, then something is grossly out of proportion in our lives. Ultimately, God created us that we would find our inspiration, meaning, and purpose in Him, and that we would direct our reverence, love, and admiration in His direction alone. See, those things in and of themselves are not bad, but when those things become, as Paul spoke of, when the created things become the things we bow down to and honor and revere in our lives, when the thing that we wake up for in the morning and we get so excited about is going to work so that I can make money, I want to be rich, I want to be rich. I would dare to say, man, something's out of whack in our lives if that's our main goal and ambition, because God has created us to honor and revere Him above else. And that doesn't mean we shouldn't go and we shouldn't try to make a good living. We should. But when that becomes our focus and our thrust and our passion in life and the one thing we're excited about, I would dare to say we're worshiping an idol. The first commandment that God gave to the nation of Israel, as we talked about several weeks ago in our intimacy talk, is what? You shall have no other gods before me. Remember, this is their marriage contract. If this is going to work out, this marriage between the two of us, no other lovers. Nobody else can take this number one place. It's me and you. So I just want to ask you this morning, what is it that captivates you? What is it that fascinates you? What is it that drives you through your day? What is it that gets you out of bed in the morning? It makes you want to keep going. What is it that you either figuratively or literally bow down to and revere? And each one of us needs to deeply search our own hearts and honestly ask the tough question, what am I worshiping? What am I worshiping? And I know we all go to church and we all, on Sunday mornings, and we all say that we worship God. But do we really? I mean, do our lives, when I look at myself, do the things that I say and the things that I do really reflect the fact that I am honoring and revering God above all else? There's nothing else in my life more important than Him. Or are we honoring and revering and glorifying and submitting to other things in our life? Do we show up on Sunday mornings and just go through the religious motion because that's what our Christian culture has taught us to do? Because that's what's comfortable to us? Because that's what, quote unquote, feels good? Or are we truly committed to honoring God in all that we do? You know, it's interesting to me. I hear an awful lot of conversations in churches about how we want to worship God. When was the last time we honestly asked ourselves how God wants us to worship Him? Because isn't it about Him in the first place? And isn't that crazy? It's like you go to church and, well, I like to worship this way, and I like to worship this way, and I don't like to do that when I worship. Worship is unique because it is the one thing that we can give to God, that we can offer to Him. But if it's really all about Him, shouldn't we be asking not what's comfortable to me and how do I like to worship, but how does God want me to worship? When was the last time we put our own preferences aside and worshiped God in a way that was pleasing to Him? So this morning I want to leave you with two challenges.